10 things we all want to see in FIFA 22 Pro Clubs. It's time today to talk to you about the most important game mode on FIFA. That's why you're here. Let's get into this. Like the video if you agree with the points that I bring up. Comment if I've missed anything. The gameplay on screen is from our 200-0 record club. The link to watch us live is in the description, with 200 wins, 4 draws and 0 losses on FIFA 22 Pro Clubs. Let's get into the top 10. Now, the first point I'm going to talk about is customizable stadiums and make a club mean something. Work towards accomplishments in your club. Right now, there's like 4 or 5 trophies to win in pro clubs, and at the moment, there's no reason why you wouldn't just club hop. It's not like if you left your club, it means anything. Winning Division 1 isn't that special if you've done it a few times. The first time you do it with your boys is great, but once you've done it on multiple FIFAs and once you've done it a lot, it just becomes easy. We just went 200-0, like I said in the video. We got nothing for it. No special stadium unlock, no gold kit, no gold boots, no special badges. Basically, nothing to flex with. But I'm onto something here, right? You have to reward players for doing things. 50-0, 100-0, 200-0, or winning a certain amount of trophies. These sort of things should bring rewards to the club and mean that the club actually means something. Today's video is sponsored by Surfshark. You need a VPN in 2021. Surfshark offers a wide array of services through one browser extension. One account means you can use it on multiple devices at the same time. Your iPhones, your tablets, your laptops, your PCs. One account gets you all of them. Bored of the UK Netflix? Have you completed it? Well, you can go anywhere in the world and watch the programs they have to offer in those countries. In December, I had no Wi-Fi in this flat when I moved in. It was annoying. I had to upload my videos at the coffee shop round the corner. They were closed during lockdown, so I had to do it outside on their free Wi-Fi. It was freezing. Video didn't even do that well. Luckily, I had Surfshark to protect me when I signed in on the VPN, right? It protects you from public Wi-Fis. You probably don't want to be logging onto too many without a VPN. One of Surfshark's great services is they also protect you from hackers. You even get notifications if somebody's trying to log into your account from a device that it doesn't recognize. The best part though, it's cheap. If you check the link in the description, you get 83% off and 3 months for free. Ridiculous. That's a real number, 83%. And if you use code JCC, it really helps me out. They're basically giving it away. So give it a try, and yeah, seriously, it's pretty important in 2021 to protect yourself with a VPN. Surfshark's got you covered, link in the description. Let's get back to the video. Point number 2, and it's kind of linked, is Battle Pass. Now, we've got Battle Passes in most games at the moment, except FIFA. There's actually sort of one in Volta, but kind of not really, right? And it's just something that would work so well in a customizable My Player mode. Battle Pass, unlockable items to grind for, new seasons that, you know, every maybe 3 or 4 over the life cycle of a FIFA 22, which have like 50 unlockable items behind them, whether that's different hairstyles, different boots, different stadiums, custom kits, custom badges, different celebration, fan chants, banners, different footballs. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can add. Different tattoos, different customizational options that, you know, it's not our job to be creative. But look how easy it is there just to list off like a dozen things that they could add to a battle pass. You could even have unlockable legends, right? So I could unlock Zidane to play in centre mid for me. It looks exactly like the geezer. It is Zidane. It doesn't have to be as good as Zidane on Ultimate Team because that would be a little bit unfair, but the Pro has Zidane's traits and looks just like him. I don't know. Again, this would just kind of link to the first point and would give us something more to play for, because at the moment on pro clubs, it comes to a point where it's got a short life cycle. Point number 3 is to just look at NBA 2K. I mean, look at it. Just look at it, EA Sports. Please, look at what you've done with Volta and compare it to 2K. Now, 2K has its issues, I know that, but like, there's so much potential for a My Player feel to pro clubs rather than just creating the same pro every single year and playing in divisions. You could link Volta to pro clubs, have one pro for both, have a My Park feel. If you haven't seen NBA 2K, I mean, there's some footage on screen right now. You can kind of get the idea. Bunch of football pitches, just a sort of free roam you can do and see people around. It'd be something really different that FIFA has not done before. Point number 4 is something simple for the game. And my goodness, has this been missing for a while, a rejoin feature. There is nothing worse than lagging out of a game of FIFA. You can't rejoin it and you get the loss and it's not fair. This is even, I'd argue, even worse in pro clubs because the game doesn't necessarily have to end, right? If I'm in the party with 3 people, one person lags out, the pro club's game carries on. That person though then can't rejoin. They might get disconnected from the EA servers, they can't then come back into the lobby, click X to join, load up, join whenever the ball goes out of play. It would make a lot more sense for them to add that to pro clubs, so just do it. Point number 5 is training sessions and an arena for your pro to grind towards leveling. Now, I actually read some of the comments on the video we did on this subject last last year, and this was one of the most top rated ones. It was all about having, training sessions, like I said, to play and grind your pro up offline. I remember they used to have the accomplishments, which we will get to, on the old Fifas, and it used to be the primary leveling system, but you had like a booklet of accomplishments, and some of those accomplishments could be obtained offline in the arena, and it would be amazing for them to add something like this to the leveling system so that you could use your pro in the arena, or you could use him to practice free kicks. You could do things offline that would also contribute to leveling your pro. Just again, something to add another dimension to pro clubs, something a little bit different. Your friends aren't online, you don't want to play drop-ins to level up because that can be an awful experience. Why not hop into these modes and level your pro up? Maybe it's a little bit slower, but you could just put some music or a podcast on and grind it out. Point number 6 is cross-platform. Now, this is something that isn't on FIFA, and I just can't get my head around it. The only reason that I can sort of come up with that they don't have cross-platform is to make money on Ultimate Team, because then you have a couple of different markets, right? You've got the Ultimate Team market on Xbox, the Ultimate Team market on PC, and the Ultimate Team market on PlayStation 4. If you then combine those markets, maybe that's less economically beneficial for them. That would kind of make sense to me, so I can see why perhaps they don't want to go cross-platform for that reason, and it wouldn't be the first time EA put profits over, improvements to their games. I should be able to play a game with a friend who has a different console to me, like I can on Warzone, like I can on Rocket League, and all other games in 2021 that's on a different console. It's ridiculous. Like, it's just ridiculous. Point number 7, employ a dev team, or just honestly, just get a bloke or a woman and just put them in charge of or something, please. Just give them a half decent salary. If something breaks in pro clubs, maybe even just they could be the pro clubs and Volta person. Just someone to communicate with on Twitter, because right now, guys, when something goes wrong in your game mode, it takes all of us to complain about it enough that you fix it after 3 months. It seems like with EA Sports, there's no connection, and this goes for all the game modes, even Ultimate Team, between EA Sports and the players, right? There's like no link. They have community managers. That's all gone a bit weird. Like, you don't really hear anything about that anymore. It's a pretty annoying feeling if you're someone who makes a living on FIFA, or even if you're just someone who plays so much FIFA and you see these little problems that are so frustrating that could be fixed, but EA Sports just put up a brick wall and don't listen to anything you're saying. Please consider just improving your communication with the community. It's really not that big an ask. Number 8, add the accomplishments book back in. Now, I did hint to this earlier. I used to love this back in the day, and I think it would be a cool addition to bring back. Unfortunately, with EA Sports FIFA titles, it seems that sometimes the most innovative and successful additions to their games are things they took out 5 to 10 years ago that they then re-add. It's a very annoying cycle, but I'm here asking you to please put the accomplishments back in. I don't want it to be the primary leveling source. I don't even care if it doesn't contribute at all to the leveling, but if it could accomplish to unlocking some different things and simply just give us another purpose to play the game for and have some good and new challenges in that book of like 300 different goals to complete so that you've completed pro clubs, I think that would be a cool feature that people would love to see back. Point number 9, I mean, simply put, the gameplay, obviously you want it to be better all the time, but there's little things in pro clubs gameplay that really annoys me, like man of the match and overall match ratings. You play a game in Striker, you can be terrible, out of position, but if you score a hat-trick in like a 12-0 win, you're going to get a 10 match rating, pick up man of the match, and actually, as we spoke about in other videos, that means that you are leveling faster than players around you. The higher your match rating, the quicker you level. Now, it might not be much, but it does exist. So if you're a centre-back that's playing in a 3-0 win, you keep a clean sheet, you've got 100% success tackle rate, you've got, interceptions, like 10 interceptions, you might have even scored a goal, you're not going to get a 10. But the striker who gets 3 tap-ins will get a 10 match rating, win the man of the match, and level a bit faster. There needs to be more balance, and in saying that, also in the levelling, right, you can be like a 94 rated cam, but you can't be like over a 91 in other positions, or even a 90. It's a bit weird. Can we have more of an open and balanced leveling system so that match ratings are fair throughout? And point number 10 is to give 11-man pro clubs the attention it deserves, whether that's through VFL and VPG, giving those guys the credit they deserve, or whether it's holding an event remotely for the logistical side of it. I mean, especially at the moment in the current times, it is hard to get that many players, 11v11, and multiple of those teams in an arena or fly them out to an event. But you could hold these events remotely. You could even try and test the waters at some of these Ultimate Team events events by having the pros link up and play sort of fun games in between the games. Like the pros that get knocked out, I've hinted on this at the past, could all play in those games. I think it could be just what FIFA needs to make some serious noise in the esports world, because at the moment, whether you like it or not, it isn't. Nobody really cares, and it's a little bit of a joke of an esport. Maybe that's my opinion. If you disagree, let me know in the comments section. Ultimate Team has certainly had its time to develop, and look at it, like nobody cares. Nobody cares about pay to win. So like I said, I did take points from you guys in the last video I made on this a year ago about FIFA 21 Pro Clubs, so have your say down below. I'll be reading and responding. Drop a like while you're down there if you enjoyed. Welcome if it's your first time here to the home of Pro Clubs. Please do subscribe, because that would help. As you can see by the number next to the subscribe button, we're closing in on 200,000 subs, which is amazing. And I'll see you guys next time. EA, listen, please.